Psalms 27 verses 13, New Living Translation. I am confident that I shall see the goodness of the Lord while I am in the land of the living. To be confident is to be convinced of a certain truth. To be confident is to believe, to be persuaded beyond doubt that a certain thing is going to happen, though it has not yet happened. The psalmist says, I am confident that I shall see the goodness of the Lord. The psalmist is convinced that there is God. The psalmist is convinced that God has got goodness. The psalmist is convinced that he shall see the goodness of his God, not in any other place, but in this land of the living. To see is to experience, to enjoy, to be a present partaker, not to partake of it through the testimony of others, not to experience it through the testimony of others, not to be a second-hand experience, but to have the first-hand experience, to taste with your own experience, to have a taste for yourself. As the scripture says, taste and see that the Lord is good. Blessed is the man that trusts in him. The psalmist says, I am going to taste for myself. And you too, you can taste for yourself the goodness of God. There is a goodness that God has stored for you. When the scripture says, I am confident that I shall see, then that means that presently I am not yet seeing. Presently, my circumstance is not the goodness of God. What I am going through, my situation, is not the goodness of God. Yet there is a goodness of God that I am going to see. The psalmist says in the book of Psalms 31, verses 19, Oh, how great is the goodness that you have laid up for them that fear you, that you have prepared for them that trust in you, in the presence of the sons of men. God has already laid up goodness for us. God has already prepared goodness for us. He is not figuring it out. He is not thinking of the goodness. He is not yet to discover. God has already prepared it. He has laid it up for us. That means that it is something that is ready. It is something that is just waiting for us to reach unto where it is. God has already prepared for us. Paul says in the book of 1 Corinthians chapter 2, that no eye has seen, nor ear has heard, neither has it entered the heart of man, the things that God has prepared for them that love him. God has already prepared them. Though our eyes have not yet seen, though our ears have not yet heard, though our heart has not yet conceived them, but God has prepared them. It is for us now to have the confidence, irrespective of our circumstance, irrespective of our affliction, irrespective of the things we are going through. We have to rise up above them, shift our focus from what we are going to see. I am not asking you to assume your circumstance. I want you to acknowledge it, but to also acknowledge that there is a goodness that is awaiting for you. There is something that God has prepared for you. There is something that is already laid up for you.